Hey guys, welcome to Heart to Talk, the podcast. I am your host, Theresa Cesare, and you're listening to episode 35. You create your reality with the thoughts you repeat and the beliefs that you align with. When judgment is your belief system, you'll always feel unsafe, under attack, and defensive. Gabrielle Bernstein. Friends, I have realized that judgment being part of my belief system just robs me of joy and life force energy. In this episode, I'm going to talk to you about judgment, what it looks like, and how we can transform it into love. When you choose to transform judgment into love, you allow yourself to get into harmony with the truth of who you are. You may be asking, what is the truth of who I am? I believe we are all pure love, light, goodness, connected to the endless supply of abundance, beauty, grace, joy, wisdom, courage, strength, and full of life force energy. Be the vibrational match to the truth of who you are, and you will attract that from others. Let's get closer to the truth of who you are by breaking up with judgment. We all judge. We are predisposed to this natural tendency. It's part of human nature. Judgment is the mental ability to understand something, form an opinion, and reach a decision. Every day we are surrounded by judgments, whether it's on the television, in our own minds, around family, witnessing it from others, and of course, the judgments we make within ourselves. We decide who and what's good or bad, right or wrong, fun or boring, easy or difficult, beautiful or ugly. We're constantly meddling in other people's businesses. We are addicted to gossiping, being competitive, criticizing, categorizing, comparing, and labeling. This lowers our vibration and depletes us on so many levels. Gabrielle Bernstein says that judgment is the number one reason we feel blocked, sad, and alone. Our popular culture and media places enormous value on social status, looks, racial and religious separation, and material wealth. We are made to feel less than, separate, not good enough, so we use judgment to insulate ourselves from the pain of feeling inadequate, insecure, or unworthy. It is easier to make fun of, write off, or judge someone for a perceived weakness of theirs than it is to examine our own sense of lack. Friends, judgment is sabotaging our happiness, the relationship we have with ourselves, and of course to others. The worst part of it is judgment then transforms into shame, guilt, and punishment, which results in keeping us separated from one another and ourselves. We judge our parents, our children, our friends, strangers, our partners. However, we judge ourselves the most and the harshest. We obsess over a mistake or what we said, how we said it. We overthink. And it gets to a point where it consumes our thoughts and drains our life force energy. When we learn to judge ourselves less, we'll naturally judge others less, and we'll begin to heal our nervous system and change the quality of life we have and gain energy. There's a judgment that empowers us, discernment. It's the ability to just make wise decisions in difficult situations. It's a conscious approach, how we distinguish what's appropriate and inappropriate, to judge well, what's best for us. We use it to choose our partners in life, what to wear, what to eat, what kind of car or house we want to buy. We make good decisions for ourselves, healthy decisions that come from our intuition, and ultimately resulting in the good of others as well. When we use our discernments, our judgments won't go away, but we can turn them into love. These are some steps that I've personally adopted and have just empowered myself in so many ways, and has really changed my life and how I operate, how I see myself, how I see others. And I promise you, when you start implementing these, you will see such a giant shift in your life, and you will come back to the truth of who you are. So here they are. The first one is just start noticing when you've judged, but don't judge yourself when you notice. And that's just the awareness. That's all you need to begin with. Because before that, you were just doing it. You were just kind of an autopilot of judgment. So when you notice it, you become conscious. And then when you notice it, just forgive yourself for it, whether you say it or you just kind of, brush it away. Don't get hung up on it and feel so bad that then you get stuck in that. So forgive yourself and others right away. When I'm having a hard time, especially when I'm judging maybe my child when they're yelling at me and acting a certain way, and I feel like I get myself emotionally caught up, I then pray for a loving thought. I just ask myself, help me see this with love. And I also pray for the other. And I send a loving vibe and golden light to the other, because energy is felt, negative or positive, and you can decide at any moment how you want to shift. And just praying for it just hands it over and takes that burden off of you. And I know for some of us that might sound woo-woo. I mean, whatever God you believe in, higher power, at the end of the day, whether you pray to yourself or someone outside of you, prayer is the first way to transform judgment into love. Also, another powerful thing I like to apply in breaking up with judgment is accepting people. Stop trying to change people to make yourself feel better. Release responsibility of that. And remember, wanting to change people is another way of judging. It's not your job. Rather, use that energy to focus on changing yourself, to feel better for yourself. And just doing that, it alters the energy of everyone else around you. Next is trust and allow. We all evolve in our own timing. Trust in what people's choices are, because when you trust them, you're not judging them. When you don't trust somebody, when you meddle in their business or you tell them how to live their lives, who to pick as their partner, you're back in judgment. And that takes energy from you in how you should build out your life and your happiness. That brings me to the next is just see yourself in the other. We're all in this together in life, in the human experience. And we all want the same things. We all want to feel love. We all want to feel worthy and safe. So imagine the person as you. When you see yourself in others, it is impossible to judge, to ridicule, punish, or hurt the other. My favorite thing I like to apply in breaking up with judgment is affirm it as the affirmation, babe. Anything in life, I like to start it off as an affirmation. It's almost like my starting point to whatever my goal is. So if my goal is I want to stop judging, I'm going to create affirmations for judging. Affirmations just are your declaration. You are changing your beliefs when you affirm something. So here are some affirmations to guide you in breaking up with judgment and transforming your judgment into love. Today, I will judge nothing that occurs. I transform my judgment into love. I only see light and love from everyone. I am willing to release judgment because I'm ready to be free. So choose to look at ourselves and the world with new sets of eyes. Let go evaluating everything and everyone from your ego-based conditioning. Wayne Dyer says that when we go beyond looking at superficialities, which is seeing the world as full of imperfections, that people in our life should be different, politicians should be aligned with our own core values, the weather should be more consistent and reliable, young people should study more, and old people should be tolerant. Our assessments are endless. So we have to move beyond our shallowness and transform these judgments into love. What seemed ugly, wrong, scary, imperfect, let's start to look at it in new eyes and start to see them as beautiful and easy and right. When you start applying the breaking up with judgment steps, you begin to free others and yourself. You become more mindful and gain so much more energy because you forgive yourself and others so much more quicker. You allow yourself to get into harmony with the truth of who you are. And who you are is pure love, light. You're connected to the endless supply of abundance, beauty, grace, wisdom, creativity, courage, strength. Start to become the vibrational match to the truth of who you are. And then you will attract that from others. Remember, your thoughts and beliefs create, and your emotions are your indicator. So negative emotion is your indicator to let you know that you're looking at something or someone differently from who and what you truly are, says Abraham Hicks. When we see something that we do not like or love in another, we use it as an excuse to separate from who we truly are. We blame others for feeling bad and feeling good. So stop blaming others and start to feel good just because you know you are good, because you have come from good. Then you allow yourself to tune in to your truth, the source that's within you, and see that in everyone else too. Because we only get back what we give out. So let's give out love. Thank you all so much for tuning into this episode. I do hope that you are now ready to transform judgment into love, because that's what we all are, people. We're all full of love. Also, rate, subscribe, and tell your friends about Heart to Talk, the podcast. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook. Otherwise, I'll be back in 2 weeks.